So retail media has evolved significantly over the past few years. What would you say is the biggest shift brands and retailers need to embrace to unlock its full potential?
Yeah, so from my side, one of the bigger shifts in retail media is moving forward towards a more channel agnostic, audience specific way of planning. So we are no longer thinking about retail media only in terms of, let's say, display banners, sponsored product ads, or just impressions. I think the real value is connecting customer data with media activations, measurement, and supplier strategy into one really cohesive full funnel plan so we can meet shoppers where they actually are. And, for us at Douglas, we want to live up to the promise of being a brand building beauty powerhouse. Our role has to be bigger than just selling media products. I think brands really need a retail partner who can help them to understand who the right customers are and how to activate them across the right channels and ultimately connect that activity back to real business outcomes. And so for us, this is where retail media becomes strategic and not just transactional.
Yeah, I agree with what Charina said. Historically, brands planned media, CRM, social, retail, and e-commerce almost independently. So today, consumers don't distinguish between those touch points, and they simply experience one brand journey. The brands and retailers that will unlock the full potential of retail media are the ones that can connect those touch points around the same consumer, the same objectives, and the same measurement framework. So we have the opportunity to create a seamless experience while understanding which interactions genuinely create value along the journey.
That's a great point. And sort of building on that, it's evident now that most successful retail media programs involve far more than just marketing. I guess, why would you say cross-functional collaboration is becoming such a critical competitive advantage?
Because consumers experience one brand, not one department. So behind every successful retail media program, there are marketing teams, commercial teams, CRM specialists, retailers, distributors even, and supply chains functions that are working together. The most innovative projects we've worked on were never driven by one team alone. They happened when different functions aligned around a common objective and a shared view of the customer. Today, collaborations isn't just a way of working, it's a strategic capability.
Yeah, sorry, I was just digesting what Giacomo was saying because for me, I think he's exactly right. And this is where many organizations still struggle. So retail media sounds like a marketing topic for sure, but in reality, it's really an operating model topic, right? It cuts across supplier negotiations and CRM and loyalty data, inventory, even legal, right? And so there's so much to it. And when those teams aren't connected and the proposition becomes really fragmented, it happens so quickly that you end up with like overlapping products and who owns what and a brand experience that is totally confusing, both internally and externally. And ultimately, I think that really shows itself through the shopper. So the retailers that win will be the ones that can really bring those functions together around one commercial plan with really clear rules of engagement. And so it's that kind of collaboration that turns retail media from a media business into something that can be really scalable as a growth engine.
Perfect, thank you. And it's super exciting. We're really looking forward to having you at Retail Media Pioneers as well. So at the event, your session will explore a full funnel fragrance launch between Douglas and Dolce Gabanna. And without giving too much away, what made this collaboration stand out from a traditional retail media campaign?
Aside from the inherent love that exists between Dolce & Gabbana and Douglas as a whole and just as a brand category, for us from the Douglas side, this really represents a truly integrated approach. So I think rather than treating retail media or brand media or social media as all of these separate work streams, I think one of the biggest benefits was that our teams really aligned all of the different teams and strategies right from the very start so that we could maximize the incremental reach across the entire customer journey. So in other words, we knew that running this campaign successfully didn't just mean putting the same campaign everywhere, right? It meant really understanding the various roles that each channel plays and orchestrating those channels around customers and business objectives. And so I think that's huge. And then one other really key differentiator was this philosophy that we just didn't think about activating media. We really built measurement into the campaign from the start to understand how different channels contributed to awareness and consideration and ultimately conversion. And this allowed us to do what we do best, which is create a data-driven proof of concept so that we can prove a coordinated full funnel strategy.
What I found particularly exciting was that we approached as a joint innovation project rather than simply a campaign. So together we challenged some traditional assumptions around planning and measurement and explored how a truly full funnel strategy could work in practice. Douglas, of course, brought deep expertise in retail media and beauty shoppers, and we really needed. So while we brought the brand's vision and the consumer perspective, that combination created really a fantastic environment for a test. And of course, we need to learn from it, and we learned from it, and ultimately build a more connected consumer experience for Dolce Gabbana products.
Amazing. I love that. And I'm really excited to see the full presentation as well. I guess finally, what is one key takeaway you'd like the audience to leave with?
So I would say that the future of retail media is not only about adding more touch points, it's about understanding how every touch point contributes to one seamless consumer experience. That's exactly what makes partnerships like the one that we have with Douglas so exciting. So we're not just discussing the future of retail media, we're actively building it together.
Amazing. Well, thank you both so much and looking forward to having you at the event.